Here we are, we're live now. Okay, this is, I believe, the Modern Fowler. I guess there's a, I mean, I'm quite excited about calling it the Modern Fowler Scrum, and the other one calling the Kent Beck Scrum. It has, but I'm not very fast, I think, in distinguishing between the two. Obviously, they're two very different people. But, there's not a strong AM-PM connection in my mind, and so when I start the wrong one, I don't notice too much. Anyway, where were we? Things that are happening with me. We've got Puneet and Raul and Piotr in the Scrum. It's a Friday. It is the thing that was happening last was that Michael and I were working on time zone selection for the website one. So this is when people create new events, so they can select it in their own time zones rather than having to manipulate in their head into UTC. Which I think is a very important feature. We are making some progress. There's wonderfully exciting and interesting refactoring options there. Michael's made a bit of another breakthrough overnight. There's still a fair amount of work to do. I think it may be another week or so before we've finished all that. But that's underway. I made some good progress on the MOOC in terms of getting a lot of fixes to the week 1 and week 2 videos that have been pending for a long time. So getting those sorted. At the local support client meeting yesterday, which cleared up various things. I need to look at Piotr's new pull request. But today we've got the Autograders client meeting. I've got a meeting with Armando, and then we've got the kickoff for website one later on. That's pretty much the updates from me. Let's go to, I think Puneet was first in, actually. Let's go to Puneet. How are things with you?
Good so far. Again, no updates on the website one.
Mm-hmm.
There is one thing I wanted to ask regarding the MOOC. So some of the students asked that whether creating a GitHub account is the requirement, which I don't think is the case, right?
Well, it's funny because well, maybe let's finish the Scrum and we'll talk about that at the end, if that's all right. Because there's a bit of a chat that we can have there, and I need to get better at making sure the Scrum. Any other issues on your mind?
No, nothing else.
Okay, cool. Let's go on to Piotr. How are things with you?
So I fixed this little comma thing. I found some solution.
Well done.
That maybe I don't know if it's the cleanest one, but that's okay, and it's working. And moreover, I just realized you already merged this change about the break task of friendly ID, that it wasn't in fact working because it wasn't reloading the friendly IDs, but it should work now.
Excellent, thank you.
Yeah, and that's, I think, all for yesterday.
Cool. Yes. Well, and maybe we'll have a look at some of the, review the pull requests if you've got some time at the end of the Scrum.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. All right. Going on to Raul. How are things with you?
Things are okay. I don't have much to report from my side. I just thought I'd check in and see what's going on today. Yeah. Plans for today. I'm doing a little bit of work with the students at Craft Academy, and then I'll be joining the kickoff meeting this afternoon with you guys for website one.
Good show. Good show. Yeah, always good to see you, Raul. Yeah, I think I just updated the info at agileventures.org so that it properly forwards to you as well. So you'll see some of those emails. I mean, if it's too much, just let me know and I'll take you off that list.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Which email are you using for that?
So there's which one? There's a good question. I will tell you momentarily. If I can, domains. Yeah. So we had this was related to some of the, at least one MOOC student was emailing us at info@agileventures.org. Because he was having trouble signing into the site with his GitHub account because he had misunderstood how to make his email public, which generates the thing for us that says we should, various things, which we can talk about in the kickoff. And what also was happening was that he was getting, failing, like the failure to get to Thomas's Nocebo account was creating an email error that was coming back to him and anybody else who emailed there, and so what I'd done is like remove some of the people who are now no longer involved, so that and set up so info@agileventures.org now goes to the right people. This is taking a long time to load here, but eventually when this loads on this other page, I will be able to tell you which email that's going to. But Yeah. So anyway, it sounds like there's nothing blocking anybody strongly at the moment.
No.
I guess I'll just mention, I've been doing this this form. I put it in the random channel to try and like assess people's, professional development needs, and had some interesting feedback on that. And I guess what I'm moving towards doing is like sending that out to the whole Agile Ventures membership and trying to find, what's the right structure for these plans that people will respond to. But that's in the back of my mind. Okay, go on, brain. But yeah, so Raul, it's going to deraul@gmail.com.
Okay, that's fine.
So to take up Puneet's question, which was about, do the students need GitHub for the course? And I think the answer to that is, at least from my point of view, is in principle they don't actually need GitHub, because none of the assignments assess a student's work on GitHub. They either assess the work that they've done or work that's deployed to Heroku. So they have to have a Heroku account, but they don't have to have a GitHub account. I think sensibly they do have a GitHub account, because basically if they don't have a GitHub account, then they don't exist. They're not actually real people. I mean, but if we're purely logical about it, there's nothing about the course, I think, per se, that requires it. The only thing is that we have, in the past, said to people, start by forking this repo in many of the homeworks. I think the reality is actually I'm having this discussion with Armando at the moment. I don't think it's such a good idea to have them forking the homework repos if we, I'm not sure that the forking of the repo actually achieves anything other than it being a mechanical step that's potentially then useful if they, going to be involved in open source later on. But does that make any sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that there is a sort of confusion among the students on whether to create GitHub account or not. And what I'm concerned about is they by mistake they start pushing the completed homework into their GitHub account, and it's available to it's available in public. So that is also a concern.
Yes, I mean it is, and I guess having them not create GitHub accounts and having them not fork things, I think, are two things that we can do in principle to prevent that happening. But to be honest, I think all of the homework assignment answers are out there, right? They can be found by anybody who really wants to look for them. And I think there's I'm going to be talking to Ron about this later today. There's an argument to say, it's not worth us trying to, I think we need to accept. Or this is my point of view. This is not necessarily what happened, but this is my point of view. Is I think we need to accept that basically people can find the solution to anything if they choose to look for it. So it's really then down to them personally, ethically, whether they're comfortable with doing that. We know that we would like them to actually try to solve the problem themselves before looking at a solution. At least for a few minutes, a few seconds. But I think there's the knots that we tie ourselves in order to try and have an arms race with those people. I think it's counterproductive. I think what we need to move towards, which we're starting to with this peer review of pair programming, is we need to assess the process. And so we need to say, look, how are they going about communicating with their pair partner? How are they going about all these different bits and pieces? Are they doing TDD and so on? If they've already, found the solution somewhere else and kind of memorized it, whatever, to some extent that's fine. Because it's the process that counts. Anyway, I should stop talking because I will just go on about it. But so,
sure, I will attend today's assessment.
Let me also. I mean, I'm having this. I might be wrong about this. Armando and I are having a discussion. Where is it? Which is on the Sarsbook courseware. Is it on the Sarsbook courseware or is it on the homework one? Where is it? See if I can just find it. Is it in there? Issues. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah. This one here, and I think I'm getting completely mistaken about it, but it seems to me that actually, if the students fork the repo, that increases the chances that we'll get a pull request from them of their solution or what have you. Anyway, let's unless there's something else, a burning question on your mind, Puneet. We'll take that offline, yeah?
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Okay. So in that case, yeah. So Piotr, I didn't really ask what your plans were. You may be just having a relaxing day. The omission on my part is just that, yeah, I haven't actually looked through this one yet, so I might do that next, and we could possibly do that together if you want to. But how are you for time now? Are you getting off for some more holiday fun, or?
No, we can do something.
Okay. I was going to ask. Puneet, you were doing some pairing with Raj yesterday.
Yes, actually, I just gave him. He asked a few questions about how we look into issues and how I pick up a particular issue. So I showed him our waffle board for website one.
Okay.
But other than that, we didn't start immediately working on any problem yet.
Cool.
Okay.
No problem. Okay, so looking at local support. So we had the client meeting yesterday, Piotr, and I think I screwed up the recording in terms of not getting as much screen share as I would like. Bits of information related to this are, or relevant particularly to us. So there's for this thing, yeah, the client says, they're happy either way round. I already mentioned that to Samago. He says, maybe get rid of the toggle. That's all good. So on this one, I mentioned this, links to categories, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that would be a nice feature to have." So it's one of those funny things. But so here, yeah, you were saying you worked out something to do with the commas.
Yeah.
So now, yes, you've got a safe join there.
Yeah.
And organization's helper has got those elements in it. Okay.
I also I needed to write it in one line. Because I couldn't split this.
In okay.
In DoBlock it wasn't working, so.
I see. Interesting. Yes. Okay. So, but this is all working now. Yes, and you've done. Okay. Yes. And safe join is. You found that's somebody else's method. Safe join.
Yeah, that's in fact some Rails method. Safe join.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know about that.
That's because if you write it like this way in one line, it generates you just HTML tags but strings, and the safe join is filtering it back to HTML and putting commas between elements. So something like that.
Interesting. Cool. Yes. I mean, I have this thing in the back of my mind that the render collection is the way that would maybe be a good way to go. But actually, I mean, it's an interesting thing here is this is, it's not bad. And if it does what the client wants, yeah, I'm thinking, yeah. The interesting thing here is, has Code Climate commented on this? And it has. And it says Code Climate has skipped analysis of this commit. That's interesting. I wonder why it's done that. And it says, no, okay, yeah. Well, and I guess if Code Climate is happy with it, then I should, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, go on, sorry. Go on.
It's too small for Code Climate.
I wonder, yeah, and maybe Code Climate doesn't do analysis of the views, which is an interesting thing. Yeah, I guess have we got in here? Yeah, there's no hound comments. Well done. Yes, interesting. Yeah, well, I think yeah, I think I should just merge that in, shouldn't I? Let's get that in. I think so. I mean, I think it's a very interesting question here about the whole process of giving feedback on pull requests, because part of me is tempted to kind of say, oh, let's redo this with the the partials and the collection. But I think it's that's something. What we want to do is get this out there, see what if people start using it, and maybe do the refactoring when we come back to it. Definitely earlier this week with website 1. I got sidetracked with, I think, there is this thing of premature refactoring, which I mentioned in the AV102 course, where you can kind of get we want to have high quality code. At the same time, sometimes premature refactoring in the wrong direction can be quite counterproductive.
I'm not sure how to do that with rendering collections, so I didn't do that because I don't know how to do that.
No, well, I think it's kind of it's one of those things that would be an interesting thing to explore for someone who is interested in exploring it. And if you're not so interested in exploring it right now, it's probably, rather than me trying to force you to explore it, it's probably best to kind of, the interesting question there is whether to open a refactoring ticket that says, oh, let's look at that at some point in the future, or just to leave it. I mean, it's and I guess you see, the other thing that we're encountering with website 1 is that the tests are not wonderfully. They're in many cases, the acceptance tests don't they don't test the system very robustly. Yeah, and so we're kind of in this now, adding this time zone thing to website 1. It makes the process, when you can't trust the tests, it makes the whole process somewhat challenging. So in some ways, the tests are more important there. I mean, I think if this does what we need, then for the moment, I guess there's an argument that you could have unit tests at the level of this organization helper, but that seems surplus to requirement. The other thing I was going to mention, actually, now that I think about it, was here is that at the moment, so this is relying upon the fact that friendly is in the health thing, and the thing that we were talking about the other night when you had to go. I wonder if I can find it quickly. And I mentioned this not to say sort of do it, but just to bring up the point for your future reflection. Here is like the kind of thing that we actually want to say. Like this is, remember this thing we were looking at the other day. You've gone with this style of scenario here.
Yeah, but I think it's like the similar that you have here.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right, that's exactly this. The thing that I was trying to show you is that there is an alternative where you have this.
But is it different? You have also used the name here.
Well, what I haven't done is I haven't used the name cats and dogs. You see, like what we could have here, and I, as you know, I'm often a conflicted person. Like, and I should see only charities associated with health. Mm-hmm. So the interesting question here is, like, is the scenario name, is that sufficiently descriptive? Like the scenario saying categories linked to search results of orgs with these categories. This one is following the letter of it, but it relies upon the fact that the in the background step, the relationships have been set up correctly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so we could make a step, that would be what is it in and am I, imagine that was a regular expression or whatever, and that's like and like so, and then we could have in here, we could kind of do something like, category. I mean, what they are under the hood. How is it? Find by name like this, and then it's like category, and then we've got like organizations, and then we'd almost like go through these and we'd have like expect age to have contents. whatever it is there, it would be like, oh, that would be organizations each. That's org name. And you know what I mean?
That's a bit more general.
Yes. Well, and see, in particular, the thing that, you know, the thing about the test is I can imagine a situation in which, you know, friendly appeared on every page. You know, say that in the future we adjust the operation of the system so that the friendly charity is like in the list of top 5 charities, and that always appears at the top of the page. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so that would mean that this test would still pass even if the whole categories link thing broke in the future.
But it would also pass if you have it like that, because if you don't change the configuration, still the friendly will appear there, and still it will look for friendly, and still it will pass.
Right. But in this case, like, I mean, it would be more than that. This one, yeah, if friendly is the only one that's associated with health, then this would be the identical thing. But if then we set up the background step so that there were several categories that were, you know, available. I mean, the other thing also then would be to do organizations all and do minus. Like if we did this and we would say this is cat orgs equals this, and then we did this, and then we could do cat orgs like that, and we could say for this each do, and then we would take the same thing here like so, and that's org there, and then we have not to have contents. So I guess what I'm trying to do here is you know, I'm moving this towards I'll put this into the comment here, and I'm not expecting you to do any of this, but I'm interested if you can follow the logic behind it. So this is an alternative last step here would be, and so this is in Gherkin. And the other one.
You think the first step, for example, could be also I click any link or something like that? No.
I think the test has to be deterministic. So, and it may be that we it's more that what we have here, this is a much tighter specification of the result that we're hoping for.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so, and this is generic against any changes that we might make in the background for this. So if I open this in a new window over here, we look at the thing that we've got here is that in this file, we've got multiple scenarios, right? So we've got the one that you've added, but there's we're testing, you know, other different sorts of things. And so someone else in the future may come along and add new organizations or unlink them or change them or what have you, right? And when they're working on a different test, and they might, you know, then if you know, like they might, you know, those combinations of changes with combinations of things that they do in the client, in the actual code base, could end up causing this to, you know, the functionality would fail, but the test wouldn't effectively check it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But what I'm asking is, if you think that, for example, this first step should be I click on the first organization from the list or something like that.
So this one here.
Yeah.
Well, I think in this thing here, we definitely want to click on one of the category things, and I'm not seeing that needing to change at all. I mean, you could be for a more robust test. It could be, you know, when I click health, I see only these ones. When I click this other link, I see these other ones.
I mean that if you think that it should be also general, like not I click health, but I click first category
Well, you're right. Actually, that could also be met. You know, it could be given I click the first category for the first. You know, for this because of the page that we're on in this situation is the background step. Yeah, we're on the show page for the organization friendly. So it could also be more generic. That's true. I think the particular thing is, you know, in principle, the way that the app is set up, if you land on a, if you just, like, I could make a check with the code that we've currently got. If I went and made a change, so where is it here? Render link categories. Like, I could potentially make a change here that basically said, so this is, where's the link coming in? Oh yeah, instead of organization search path, I could just like do organizations path, and I could remove this. Imagine if I was deleting this and this. The test would still pass, right? Because for this one, it would click through on that. I'd have kind of like broken the code in a way that if you click on the health link, it's going to go to the organization's index page where all the charities are. So it will definitely pass. Do you know what I mean?
But the second one is like organization search page. So you need to be on organization search page in this test.
You will, but I should be on the. Oh, okay. Sorry, have you got a test there for? So then be on the organization search page, but you can be on the search page without any parameters, which will give you a list of everything, won't it?
Yeah, probably yes.
Yeah. So then, yeah, I stand corrected, but yeah. So if we remove the parameters, it would be on the search page, and everything would be returned.
That's only if the parameters will be blank, because if they are not there, there will be error.
Yeah, but what this relates back to is it relates back to the homework 3 in the MOOC, where you're and it's one of the complicated ones where the point is that there are various ways that the system could break here, but a check that just of the existence of this charity, that will still pass in many cases, whereas this is, I mean, either way, the details are less important. You can see that this is a much more thorough test, right?
Yeah.
This is sort of linking to say, we expect to see these and not these. And it's a much, the test would in this case, I think, be much stronger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the interesting question, of course, comes down to, you know, I was talking about there, you know, if somebody makes a change here and they make a change in the other place and so on, how likely any of these things are, and have I just wasted our, you know, 10 minutes of our time talking that through? At least anyway, I might personally come back to this and have a review of the Cucumber steps like that.
No, it's already there, so I can just add it.
Yeah, it's something to think about. I mean, the thing that I often want to do, there's one is the strength of the test. The other is making the test readable. So, you know, when you read these 3 things, it doesn't express the intent of the test, does it? It just tells us, oh, health, and then IoT friendly. Okay. Whereas if we have this line, now what the test is actually testing is kind of clearer.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No. Anyway, we'll move on. Yeah. So, well, now maybe I should go offline on this one. I haven't really looked at but this seems like this is like fairly. So this is like editing invitation emails. Do you just want to talk me through the things that you're wondering here, and I see if I can answer the questions?
So we just managed to add a simple form there, and we just used nothing fancy. Just we created a model for the template mail, and then because of that we have a model, The first thing I was wondering, it's not there, but when I was wondering is that if we need a model here, if in fact in this situation we have just one such email template, which is for super admin. But we decided to do that in this way, in the model way. So
yeah, that's. I think having mail as having the mail template, as it were, as a model sounds nice.
So we created this model with columns and so on, and we made it relation between a user and this template as has one, not has many, because we're talking about that. But I thought in this case we just don't need has many templates. We won't store many templates, we just one. And the other thing is that because it's a model, so we would need to have like a first template rendered by a probably rake task. So also we thought it's counterproductive to have a new action in controller and also a new template in views. We decided that it's only edit and update that we need in controller.
Yes.
And the new one would be created by a rake task. So that was the first thing that we probably wanted rake task for that.
Yeah, sounds good.
And the second thing was that for now we used in the views to render this result of editing action, like a simple format method from Rails, which doesn't give you many sweet things from HTML. It just translates new lines into paragraph tags and new lines into break line tags. But for example, we don't have possibility to have a link inside the text, or the color of the font and so on. So it's not too rich in this in this meaning. So probably we would like to have something more sophisticated, at least a bit. So we found there are some gems that make it possible, and we thought that it would be a next step to implement these gems. We would need to find some not too big gem that just gives us this possibility to translate HTML or text into HTML. So just a small editor, like that. And we thought that would be the way. We pasted there just one that we found and maybe used, but maybe you can show us or indicate us better one, or one that you have already experience with.
Sure.
And so that's the second thing. And the third thing I forgot was the third. Okay, I have it.
Yeah. Well,
the third thing is that it's now like working with the models and with database, but and it also we just like substituted the old invitation instructions file, like partial, which was connected to custom device mailer. So we suppose that it should be still working with device mailer, but we are not sure about that. So
so some testing will be needed. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a great start. Definitely. Yes. I think. I think this is. I completely agree. I think, the story is about being able to edit some existing templates. So being able to add new templates and so on, that's a different functionality. It's not something that the client has requested. This is one of the things where, you know, the temptation is, oh yeah, I'm sure they'll need that. But then that means that we've made this work here bigger and more complex than it perhaps needs to be, you know. And what we want to do, like as you pointed out, there are unknowns about whether things are working with Devise Mailer. So we want to do the smallest amount of work to check that the system works end to end. So I totally agree with that. This is a one. Yes, leave out new functionality, functionality for now. Then the two, I mean, I would say here is, let's not worry about any kind of complex formatting for now.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, again, that for the same, following the same logic as I do for part one, I would say, you know, let's leave out any special formatting for now.
So we just, for now, we just left the part with the accept link,
mm-hmm.
which is really important. So we didn't touch it.
Yeah.
And it's there like a static one, and the rest of which is around can be changed.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that we might need to do something different in the future, but I think, yeah, let's do the simplest thing for that and see where it goes. I mean, I've got it running now. Is there an endpoint that I can easily go to, so that have we got like a mail templates controller?
You need to go through super admin.
Okay, so I log in as the admin, yeah. And then what do I want to do now?
Admin, and invite users to become admin of organizations. Not here, because we didn't implement it through here. We just added it to the first one, like invite users, like not invited, like without users, the first one that you have here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do I need to create like the something in the database? Because there's at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment you have nothing in the database.
And you don't yet have a rate task to do it.
No, we just.
No, so I would need to go to Rails console and create it.
Yeah.
So then I need to like just create a new like mail template. So
it has like text, footnotes, and email, but in fact, then I'm not sure if email is necessary here. But
yeah,
it has three things.
And then footnote. Like this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you have it like migrated?
I do have it migrated. I don't know that I've necessarily done the right kind of mail thing.
Maybe try add email. I'm not sure. There was a.
I mean,
but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be checking it, validating here.
I do git compare with branch, develop. So models, yeah, I created a new mail, but it's called mail template. So what I should have done.
Okay. Sorry.
There. Okay, yeah. So there's then a single one of those. But so I guess here, like, how is it finding the mail template that's presumably in one of the controllers?
Yeah, there is this with organizations report controller, which is generating this first page.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's passing.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So if I don't, it needs to have the user associated with it. So
yeah, because it's only in fact available for super admin. So
right. And then
yeah. Okay, I forgot that you have to put user ID there.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Right. Okay. Yeah. So what we've kind of got here is yeah, effectively, and then to the edit. Oh, lovely. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah.
So now is this simple?
Yes. And I absolutely love simplicity, and that's great. Yes. I mean, so the interesting thing here is, so if we come back to here and we're talking about the different bits and pieces, yeah. So I certainly wouldn't worry about a special formatting for now. I think what we want to do is get the complete something that works, and then we can always add that later. Yeah, and then so 3 with device mailer. Yeah, this I'd say 3 integration.
There are some tests possible to work with mailers, no?
Yes, and I mean in some ways, it's all just a question of I mean, I guess at the moment you're displaying the mail template. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I would say that before doing any other thing, it's like checking that, and sometimes like for the last bit, it's just checking and running and seeing, does the email appear what it looks like it should do in the log file. But yeah, there are also email tests that we have. I think as well. I mean, I think we have acceptance tests on the emails, and you can actually pull the email out of the email queue and check that it contains the text that you expect it to contain. So I think if we look at features and we're going to go for find in path email, really, where's that? Ugh. Nah, what? Okay. So we've got like volunteer opportunities and that sets emails for people. Email. Now, is there something that we check that there's something in the step definitions? Let's see. Step definitions, control, finding path, email. Spelt it wrong. Okay, here. So we've got like, there's going to be authentication steps, no. Emails. Okay, there we go. We've got things like, we've got these sorts of things, like find emails with confirmation link. So you can see it's like going and grabbing emails, and then it's like looking through them, and it's trying to find that, does the account go in there and so on. So yeah, it's like find email. One of the steps under here somewhere will, grab, there you go, find emails. See, you can, this kind of step will pull all of the emails out of the event queue, out of the delivery queue, and you can check them.
So delivery queue means that it's already prepared to send, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
So,
okay. Yeah, that's all. That can definitely all be done. The interesting thing is, I would say, in some ways, it doesn't seem to me that it's necessary to associate the template with the user, because there might be, and more than one, and in fact, I think there's more than one super admin.
Okay.
Now, I guess we could say that maybe the different super admins will want to have different templates. But I would say probably in the first instance, it's maybe simpler just to have a single template and the template has a name, that this is the invitation template or what have you, and that all of the super admins.
Would you like to have one template for all admins?
I think that's probably the way to go.
Because if any super admin will change it, then it will change for all super admins.
Yes, I think at least the way the system works at the moment, like the 2 super admins that we have at the moment are myself and Rachel in the current system. So I think, like in terms of to support the functionality that we need right now, I think that's exactly what we need. We need a single. I wouldn't want to have a different admin template than I wouldn't want to have any different templates from Rachel.
So you would like to see what it's changed
Yeah, I would like to know what Rachel has updated too. Now, of course, we can imagine, other organizations, maybe a bigger organization, where they would like the flexibility to support, a different mail template per, for different admins want to send it out in different ways. But I think, that sort of, that seems to me like out of bound. I think we shouldn't implement something like that until it becomes clear that that's what we need, if you know what I mean.
So that would be, in fact, just a class with one instance in this case.
Yeah. What I would give it, if we look at the class that you've created, what I would be tempted to do, is rather than have a reference to a user, I would give the mail template like a name that it's referred that it was referred to, and then we would, rather than looking it up by the current user, we would look up the mail template by the name, because I think it's much more likely that that the user would like to be able to do in the near future is be able to edit other mail templates. So, for example, as well as this is the invitation email, but then there's also like the password reset email, and then there's it seems to me that that it's much more likely that, and there might be an invitation email that emphasizes the volunteering, and another invitation email that emphasizes the other thing, and so it's basically. I think it's more likely that we'll have the desire to create and modify new templates and have a series of different templates with different names in this table than there is, that we want to make them make separate templates for separate users, if that makes sense.
Okay. But because for now it doesn't have any, because all the other emails are just like notifications, no, mostly. So you don't need to customize it. So for now, it's the only one that needs customization.
Well, you can say that. Although when I look at the emails, the other one, some of them, the language is not, is not wonderful. Like when you're going through the reset process, right? I mean, you can say that they're kind of standard, but one of the problems that we've had with the system is with the standard language. If we go and look at, is it custom devised mailer, so we've got reset password instructions and things like this, actually maybe we this should have a footer saying what the name of the organization is that it's come from and so on. I mean, we've got these things. These are all part of how the users experience the system, and they also refer to things like organization and that their names of the concepts and so on.
Yeah, but for now there is no way on the interface to get to these mails. You just have invitation instructions being shown on the page.
No, right, but that's the only one that we'd started on. But and in terms of my understanding of the likely flow of the direction of the project, is that it is particularly given that you've created the mail template.
Yeah, I understand some. I just wanted to indicate it and to see if you agree, or you have you will say to me that there are some other places where you can also see
no, at the moment there are no other places that you can even see what the contents of those emails are like. And but yeah, I mean what I would, and I think that's also kind of a flaw in the system, that they can't be seen. It's one of the things that from the admin's point of view, they only find out what the emails look like when a user forwards one that they haven't understood. So
maybe in the future there would be a new page for admins to see templates.
Yeah, there would, maybe in the future there would be an admin page that showed you all of the templates, and you could that would be part of the admin settings of the system, is to be able to modify and customize all of the templates that go out. I mean, in line with one of the things that we did in the system is we made it so that these pages here are all editable by the admin.
Okay.
Not necessarily with the cleanest and nicest looking interface in the world. That's another thing that we could do with fixing. But do you know what I mean? It's sort of we wanted to put the power, like in the future, like at some point, I'm gonna. Well, I don't know. I'll see how long I'm supporting the system for, but ultimately we want to enable the end user, the admin, to be able to modify any part of the system, particularly related to the text in it, for their own purposes and needs. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's also the place where you can look to when we want to make this formatting thing, because I see that you have some formatting there in this place.
Yes, and so I mean I think that there is some formatting there. There's some existing things as you saw. It's overall I think the spacing on this page doesn't look so good to me. We've got like here we're using Markdown. Which is
okay.
not necessary. Which is and you can basically make hyperlinks by doing this. There's a framework for reviewing all of the pages and editing all the pages and so on. So yeah, there's certainly something to look at and think about. In the long run for the system, it would be nice if for all of these things to have a consistent interface for editing the content for the admin.
Some nicer looking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cool. So
okay, so I understand. So it would be better to have like names for templates and that don't create relations between.
I think so. I think so.
Templates.
Yeah, to have names for templates rather than linking to a specific user. Yeah. Because I'm imagining in the long run a mail template admin interface like this that allows one to look through all the different admin templates and then email templates and then adjust them appropriately.
Okay.
Great. Well, I'm glad we were able to get through. I'd say fantastic work getting this started. I think it's it's a really important feature that other systems often forget to have. They just sort of the emails are kind of there. And so people are sort of stuck with the emails that like the devised defaults or whatever, the original developers happen to think were good ones. And so what it means is that the end users cannot control the experience, the admin users cannot really properly control the experience that the users are having.
Okay, so it was nice thing to learn.
Good stuff to chat about. Yes, well, thank you. And as always, my apologies when we're misunderstanding each other, but I think we're both it's very valuable for me, the whole process, and I hope I think you're getting the occasional bit of fun stuff out of it as well.
So. all the time, Sam.
Good stuff. Yes. Well, and so I'll maybe see you later. And otherwise, best of luck. Is you're starting on Monday? Yeah, with the new
on the Wednesday, on 1st.
Oh, okay, it's on the Wednesday. Okay, right. Oh well, maybe I'll see you beginning. I mean, it's a holiday in the UK on Monday, so I'm not sure if I'll be doing.
What type of holiday?
It's the Spring Bank holiday.
Spring
Bank. Well, in the UK we have these things called bank holidays. There's about 6 or 7 of them through the year, which are like single days off, where the banks are supposed to be closed, and so most businesses.
Why is it like bank holiday? Is it like historic, traditionally?
I don't know. I mean, I think I was just talking to an older friend of mine who was saying that actually gradually these things have been brought in. There used to be not so many of them. I mean, actually at Christmas and New Year and at Easter, the bank holiday basically can be any kind of holiday. It can be a religious or who knows. But the key thing is like, the banks are shut. We always just refer to them as bank holiday because like the banks are shut, and so then you talk about the Christmas bank holiday or the Easter bank holiday or what have you. Anyway, so now in May we have 2 bank holidays in May. So there's the there's the what do they call it? I mean, this one now is the sort of the Whitsun bank holiday. I don't know if there's a religious thing related to it or not, but yeah, there's two.
We had on yesterday we had like Corpus Christi,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. For us, there probably is like if I just look, is it the I think I seem to remember my father referring to this as the Whitsun bank holiday. We've kind of Spring bank holiday, Whitsun. For the Christian festival of the Pentecost, the 7th Sunday after Easter, I think. Yeah. So, but it's for most in the UK, we've become very religious or multi-religious or what have you, and so we tend to forget all of what the holidays are.
Yeah, we have different strange holidays here in Poland. Some religious, some not religious, some patriotic. But I found out that, for example, in Latin America, I don't know in Asia, but probably also in some countries, to like build identity, they are really serious about national days. You know, like in Peru, for example. They are training a month before to have national day. I think 3 days off, not just 1 day.
Oh wow!
Everybody in schools are preparing for parades with flags, and they are training for this. They are training on the streets. All the children have to go to the streets to train how to parade with flags. You know, to be prepared for the day.
Interesting. Yes. We could probably do with a few more. I don't know about the nationalism, but we could do with a few more holidays over here. It's, although poor the Americans hardly have any, but we seem to have few on the continent. Good stuff. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, it sounds like I'll probably be able to see you on Tuesday. So have a great weekend if I don't see you again. And
okay.
Yeah, bye for now. And did I learn how do I say goodbye in? It says do zobaczenia.
Do zobaczenia.
Do zobaczenia.
Yeah. Okay. There are other ways. The more formal way would be do widzenia.
Okay. Do widzenia. Well, we're very informal here, so do zobaczenia.
Do zobaczenia.
Bye for now. Take care.
Papa.
Papa. How do I turn this off? I've lost my mouse. Oh. Where's the mouse gone?